Hey, what is up? It is Keith, live rock star, with another report about like amazing healing stuff. Yesterday, I went and did the John of God crystal healing bed, which is just absolutely amazing. I first became aware of John of God because probably the one person in my life that I've ever called my hero, Truth Calkins, wound up going down to Brazil and getting some work done with John of God. And I do want to say right away that this would be a next level healer and somebody that's very plugged in. And I'm not trying to crap on people that charge for healings, because we all have got to pay the rent and keep the electricity on and all of that kind of stuff. But the John of God facility is free. All you have to do is show up there and just sort of play by the rules, which is wearing white and taking the herbs. And I think it's easy to say that there's probably 1 million healings that he has done, either directly at the site or remotely. And so, truth, when I visited him in Tucson in fall 2015, was it was the first time I'd seen him in quite some time. And I just wanted to catch up with him, and I have a great connection, an important connection for me with him. And so we sort of talked about stuff, and then he was like, kind of afterwards, I think possibly even in an email or a later phone conversation, he was like, I should have had you get on the John of God crystal bed. And I thought it was maybe this like bed of these piles of crystals or something like that. Go ahead and Google it. It'll come up. I'm not here to inform you of the whole backstory on it. I'm here to give you a report on what happened to me. So it's basically a light thing. It's sort of when you Google it, you'll see this sort of light, almost like those track. Well, you can't see my track lights up there, but it's like kind of like a track light thing looking, in the sense of that there's 7 lights on it associated with each of the colors of each chakra. And then there's a very finely tuned crystal that emits this light. And as I was to read, these lights are to basically, the way John of God works is he channels these amazing healers throughout time. Some have names. The website of the place that I went to, which is Sacred Journeys in Canyon Crest in Riverside, which is across from the 215 freeway from UCR. They have, and it's Sacred Journey. I forget. I'll put a link in the drop down. Sacred Journey. I don't know. I think it's sacredjourneyshop.com. Anyways, I'll put a link down in there directly to it, and they give a lot of backstory. There are some very specifically named entities that have left this dimension that sort of channel through John of God. So let me give you my experience. Basically went into a room. I laid down on a massage table. The woman who was the facilitator or the practitioner of this device, she lowered the lights over me, told me what to expect. Basically, you just sit there quietly. You wear only white, as is always like one of the first things that comes up with John of God. And you just have no expectations, and basically some people fall asleep. Well, I was like sort of very meditative, working very intentionally on keeping my thoughts clear. And I did right away notice a lock-in on my sacral chakra, which is the second chakra up. And I will just tell you right now that for me, as an old soul, an ancient soul, as I've been identified by psychics and just things I'm coming to know about myself through working with myself and through working with healers, that yes, I am definitely an ancient soul. So I'm way up here, and my weaknesses are all to do with the lower 3 chakras, specifically the bottom 2, I would say. I think the third one, which is called the solar plexus, is really associated with chi, with workflow, with getting things done, which I'm pretty good with most of the time. The sacral chakra is one I can definitely identify with problems. With it's the source of creative and sexual energy, which are the same. You can find that anywhere you go. Yeah, so that one's been kind of blocked with me, with especially with at points in my life I've been plagued by erectile dysfunction, and even way before that age of when people actually have a problem with it, which I don't have a problem with it. I thought it was associated with coffee usage and things like that, but I'm to learn now that for me it has more to do with love and romance, while most males really actually work okay with a sort of just a less, let's just say a less than romantic, a deep connection with somebody. And that's the purpose of males. I mean, males are basically designed, as you'll look into internet porn and all that kind of stuff, and I don't want to wind up spending so much time talking about sexuality, but or of that stuff, but problems have come into male sexuality, and I quickly found out that, like, as I express myself more artistically, specifically a lot of recordings that I did with my music in the late '98, that really activated my sexuality. And then as I moved away from those and became more associated with the world, anyways, the point is that the therapy, I immediately felt this lock in on my sacral chakra, which is right about the navel area, sort of. You know, I'm sure that chakras sort of slightly vary in some people. And then I became aware of a lot of entities around me, and I was sort of in and out of these really lucid dreaming states. A lot of people actually fall asleep. This light, this crystal light device is very specifically oriented towards working remotely with these spirit entities. I am flying high today, like big time. I feel really connected with everything in a way that I want to feel, which seems very... I don't have a lot of chapters in my life. My life feels all as one. Like the energy that I had, like a lot of people can associate their sort of teenage, early adult years possibly as one chapter. I really have never felt that. I'm still all the same person. A lot of the same values that I had. I was very much a loner. I still am a loner. I still am very hermit oriented. I'm whatever. The point is just a lot of those energies really connected back in an awesome way. And I'm just really flying high, and I did just want to give a report on this now at this time. I don't want to make this video too long. Look up John of God. He's responsible for millions of healings. He operates in Brazil, and there are 3 countries that I know of that are, he does psychic surgery. 3 countries I know of. Firstly, I became aware of it when I was probably in my late teens, of psychic surgery being done in the Philippines. Then I became more aware through the love of my band Coil of that spiritualism and all that kind of stuff is really big, is accepted. I don't want to say big like it's a hipster thing, but it's a part of culture. And probably in most countries in South America, in Mexico, in Haiti, in the Caribbean, and all of these kind of places of where there's a lot more of a genuine spiritual life, and the belief in entities and how they can affect you. And Jason and I saw that heavily in Thailand with the spirit houses all over Thailand, which is we could really go into that, but I don't want to at time. This is just a report. I'm really excited about what this has done for me. I am going to be continuing with some of these healing sessions. They're really rounding off some of the work that I've done with Nicole Peugeot, firstly, or I should say Sandy Steers, firstly, in 2011. Nicole Peugeot, secondly. Anthony Torres, thirdly, and then one of my best friends, Julie Bernstein, she goes by now. And this is just really rounding off with me getting connected within myself. And that's all I have to say now. The closing credits, if you will, here. I'm very driven to start associating some type and text on my Instagram with some pictures as I upload onto YouTube. There's always going to be a simultaneous Instagram thing with some text, because I am a good writer. Sometimes my speaking is a little bit chaotic, as we know. And then also, if you feel like it, I mean, Instagram is a very much, I think, a cell phone thing. You can view it on the proper internet through a proper computer, if you will. But I'm always posting a lot of my food porn on there, which is, if you're interested, I'm sort of giving off recipes and stuff like that. Anyways, support me by supporting my music. Secondculture.bandcamp.com, second-culture.com. I am Live Rockstar on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Message me on Instagram or Facebook, as people do, usually Facebook. And that's all I have to say. Bright blessings and namaste.